In tonight's special report, he was gunned down in the middle of the night, and no one can explain why. Friday actually marks 8 years since 20-year-old Thomas Kinslow was killed.
It happened on Constitution Avenue near Academy, just feet away from Thomas's home. Fox 21's Abby Burke takes a closer look at his murder case that has since gone cold. Abby.
Lauren, Thomas, or Tommy, as he was called by his friends and family, was a good kid who stayed out of trouble. But that night, trouble found him.
It was a normal day. He had gone to school.
November 22nd, 2005 seemed like just another day for the Kinslow family.
He had to work that night, so he came up partway up the stairs and hollered up to me that he was leaving for work, and I told him that I loved him. He told me he loved me.
20-year-old Tommy Kinslow was attending Pikes Peak Community College and worked at Hollywood Video in the evenings.
I told him, watch his speed. He had a little bit of a heavy foot, so I always told him that when he left. And he went on to work just like he always did.
Tommy had to work late that night and clocked out at 1:41 a.m. His house was just around the corner, but he never made it inside.
They got the first 911 call at 1:45.
Colorado Springs 911, what's the location of the emergency?
Tommy was found lying in the middle of Constitution Avenue.
I could tell immediately it was him.
A sight his mother will never forget.
And I hollered at my husband. He was still asleep, and I told him, get up, get up. Tommy's been hit by a car. That was all I could think of. He was hit by a car. And we ran outside, and the paramedics stopped us from going any closer, and they told us that he was gone. There was nothing that they could have done.
But Tommy hadn't been hit by a car. He had been shot 5 times.
I was in shock. I mean, it was bad enough that he had been hit by a car, but then to know that he had been shot and nobody could tell us why, I couldn't imagine anybody wanting to shoot him.
We believe it was random. We believe that he may have interrupted something when he was returning home. Could have been someone breaking into cars. It could have been someone who was looking into windows or something. We're not sure.
Tommy's family says he wasn't one to pick a fight, but he wouldn't back down from one either.
He would have somebody's back, but he wouldn't start anything.
Police say there had been a scuffle before shots were fired.
Tommy was one of those people. He was going to take some action, and it was his home. You know, he lived in that neighborhood. He was going to definitely try to prevent it.
Witnesses described a single suspect, a slender male about 6 feet tall wearing dark-colored clothing. The suspect didn't leave behind much, but he did leave his DNA.
With today's technology, you know, there's always hope. It gives you hope, you know, with DNA evidence and different things that are coming about. You realize that it just takes that one piece of evidence that could break the case.
And that's what Tommy's family is waiting for.
In my opinion, the person or persons that killed Tommy, they're cowards because they're hiding and they won't come forward. But I won't give up. Tommy, he's going to get justice, and I won't give up until he gets it.
For 8 years now, Pam Kinslow has been waiting for answers.
We get up and we do what we're supposed to do, and we go to our jobs, we go to social things, but it's not the way it was before. I always wait for Tommy to come in through the back gate. If I'm sitting at the dining room table, I wait for him to come through, and he doesn't come.
And with each year that goes by, the frustration grows that a killer is still on the loose.
It makes me furious. Tommy will never get married. He'll never have kids. And whoever killed him is out there. They're walking the streets. They could be married. They could have kids. And it's not fair that Tommy doesn't. He was a good kid. And I'll never get to see that. When our daughter got married a year ago, Tommy should have been the one to walk me down to seat me. And he wasn't there for that. He's not there for anything anymore.
Tommy may be gone, but he lives on through his family.
We look at pictures, we talk about Tommy, we tell stories.
But the story is unfinished, the ending unwritten.
We're just very close. We just need more information.
He loved his friends and his family. He was a good kid. He would help with anything you needed. We miss him, and he deserves justice. And if you know anything, please come forward.
Finding Tommy's killer won't bring him back, but it will help his loved ones rest a little easier.
I want them to come forward and admit to what they did and try and tell me why they did it. There's no reason that I can think of that would be an excuse to kill him, but to know why they did it, I can't say it would help, but at least it would give me something. I just miss him so much.
Now, anyone with information about Tommy's case is urged to call Colorado Springs Police at 444-7000, no matter how small you think your tip may be. You can also remain anonymous by calling Crime Stoppers at 634-STOP. Tommy's is just one of around 90 cold cases CSPD is currently working on, but they're determined to solve every one. Joe and Lauren?
All right, nice work. Thank you, Abby.
It's got to be the worst thing, not knowing.
Oh, unbelievable.